everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I wanted to talk to you today about the narcissists when they come to you, how they come to you and they're wearing the mask. And the first thing that you will start to learn with them, their words don't meet their actions. Out and about is a different type of person when you run into other people that they may know than what you see at home. This is a really huge flag. People that have a hard time deciphering in the very beginning, if you start to see the two different personalities or the two different lifestyles, if you go out and about with them, for instance, people all around are telling you how great they are or how different they are from what you've been seeing, then you need to investigate that further. I mean, because this is the thing, people that are dysfunctional and people that are narcissistic or narcissists, they have at least two different lifestyles or two different personalities, one in the house and one outside the house, one in private and one in public. The one in public is all the fuel that they siphon from you, and that's why we always talk about that grade A or that 105 fuel, that 105 octane fuel. That's why they want to get that instead of that 87, that unleaded regular. The higher the grade fuel, which would be based on the more innocent you are to narcissism, or the more passionate and real that you are and genuine outside of understanding narcissism and people pleasing, because those are areas when we wake up we have to work on. We were not knowing about narcissism. We weren't taught it. And we were taught some bad boundaries, low standard of boundaries, and not to love ourselves, at least to the level that we should have. And unaware of the fact that all of this was going on all around us our whole life until we woke up to it. I mean, it's odd how you can learn about different types of disorders, and this one just breezed right over your head. And it's the most prominent, the most perpetuated in your family, and you're a victim of it. And it's good when you can put a title to something, but when you start to see the two different personalities, those are the masks, you know, I mean, or those are the false self. That is maladaptation, and you want to run from that, because that's somebody who cannot process their emotions. They cannot process through their own childhood fears or their own psychological disabilities that need to be worked on. And to avoid it, they build the mask, the maladaptive situation, where they can just make everybody happy, make the people happy, so that they can get their love, adoration, admiration, and get praise. So in a sense, you know, the narcissist is kind of a people pleaser, but on a different spectrum, or on the other side of the spectrum from what the black sheep is, or the empath is, in the same family, because they people please to gain the love and admiration, adoration, but also to draw people in, to seduce them, to charm them, and to fake it in the beginning so they can get them hooked to siphon off of them. So those are like the two different types of things that they do. That's why the people out and about, they think that they're just a wonderful, charming, sweet, altruistic, loving, kind parent, father, spouse, lover, and all those things. This is the covert types, because, you know, the overt types they could be anywhere, and they're not really concerned so much with faking it. But the covert types, which is, you know, probably 90% of what we're talking about on these channels, they will do all that and cause the cognitive dissonance, where you get the actions and the words don't meet up. You start to have, you know, splitting in your mind, and it causes then you, because you didn't trust your intuition telling you to leave them. And the red flags that were coming at you and that were getting beat back down with the love bomb. And that's why they bombard you with love in the very beginning, because it knocks down the red flags. That's where seduction and charm, it's all right there. It's where you really get Jezebel. It's almost like Leviathan comes later, you know, the pride and the, I mean, you always see, it's always Jezebel and Leviathan. They're always together, it seems like. I mean, in the Narcissist, you'll see the Jezebel to seduce, but you'll see the background of Leviathan that has the pompous swagger, the grandiosity, the godlike status, the all-powerful, almighty one. And that's Leviathan, the power of pride. And they work in tandem in the very beginning. Jezebel is up front, seducing and charming you. And this is man or woman, because they all have that. And in you know, the back of the character, you'll see Leviathan, the back of it. It's like Jezebel front with back side of Leviathan. And then in the end, you see Leviathan in the front and Jezebel in the back. It's like the all-powerful, almighty, you know, superior one that is never wrong is the one that's blasting you. Meanwhile, walking away with a swagger to still keep you reeled in. Try to seduce you on the way out while they turn and twist and walk away. That's why when you wake up to narcissism, you think that you can adjust, and that if you start to learn more and more about this and you start to walk down a path of understanding how they maybe been controlling you, and you put a stop to that will get them to change. And that doesn't work. What it does do is they start to catch on because they can't get supply off you, and generally speaking, they are very vigilant at looking at your emotions and your movements and, you know, somatics. And when they can't get that supply that they normally would get off you because you're rocking them and not walking into it like you used to, well, then they'll start to switch it up. They'll just keep switching it up. It's like they'll switch gears with you and they'll put another mask on. They'll kind of adjust it to where they'll be real nice to you, and they'll get warm with you for a while, make you convinced that, you know, maybe they're not a narcissist at all, especially if you have told them that, you know, which is not really a good idea. But regardless, it's not going to, that's what they'll do. They'll switch it up. They'll warm up a little, start acting right. They want to convince you and reel you back in, whatever you heard and any information that you got, that it's not them, and it's not true, and it has nothing to do with who they are in their character. They'll end up getting you to take your walls back down and drop your boundaries and your walls and open back up to them, and then they'll nail you with a heavy discard. And this right here will maybe get extended out for a while, and this is where you'll get this going back and forth for a while, a lot of times, especially when you start to wake up. Some people can do this for years, depending on what type of person you are. But generally speaking, it gets further and further apart. And then what will end up happening in the end, if you continue to do this, is they'll draw you in for one last time, and then they will give you a heavy destructive discard where they'll try to put you down in every way that they can. You know, financially, they'll have a heavy smear campaign and everything, and leave you for good, because they want to be the final discarder. They want to be the one that walks away feeling like they won. That's why they say never go back to the narcissist. Once you know, you go. Because when you stick around, you get, it's like you have grace when you don't know. To some degree, God will cover you and protect you and help you to wake up. The idea with, I believe, with God is to wake you up and break that spell and show you the truth of what narcissism is, how it's been affecting your life. Because if the rules are in the system, in this world system, say it's a generational curse, he can't just take the generational curse off your life because he's not a respecter of persons. So what he'll do is he'll just allow them, if he allows them to keep coming into your life, then he allows them to come in to wake you up. And the heavier the trauma, the more you're going to wake up, unless you're, depending on how hard-headed you are. And it's really to wake you up so that you can heal, because we have limited time on this earth. And we want to heal and see him in glory and move from faith to faith and glory to glory. And he wants to give you the ability, because he knows the good-hearted ones from the evil. So if he's going to pull at anybody, he's going to pull at the good-hearted ones. And sometimes you will see some evildoer that'll have a story where, amazing story where God saved them. But he saved them because what people saw was really not who they were. They looked to the outside like they were, rough, tough, and mean, angry and hateful. But a lot of that was probably just their ego, not really just from being injured themselves. But that wasn't really truly them. Their heart was truly good. It was just really hurt. But, there's a lot of people that don't feel the same. So, if you can give me a like, subscription, and thumbs up, love y'all. Till next time, peace, we out.